Good evening. We are officially live. Tonight is going to be a very special night. I've got two individuals who you've seen multiple times on the channel. This is pretty much our 3-year kind of tradition or annual tradition that we do at the end of the year, which is go through our top 10 New Balances each year. And this is going to be going through our top 10 New Balances of 2023. I'm going to bring on shortly Sean Go, which many of you probably already follow on YouTube. If you don't already follow him, be sure to do that now, as well as Ron, who is known as NBsOnly on Instagram. So if you're not already following him, be sure to head on over there. He pretty much gives you all the heat weekly when it comes to New Balance. But everybody, please give a warm welcome to these New Balance pros. Hey
Yo,
guys.
what's up? What's up? I have to say that intro music leading up to the launch. Oh man, it has me like amped up. I feel like I'm in like a Marvel movie or something.
I'm really big
But
into Hans Zimmer, so
Yeah, I
anything
hear that.
Hans Zimmer like. Since I can't afford him, I have to do knockoff Hans, which it is what it is.
No, I dig it. I dig it. It's dope.
yeah, I'm ready to run through a wall too.
I
Yeah,
know.
let's do
Is
it.
that coffee that you got there? Is that Coke, Coca-Cola, Ron? I'm like
It's caffeine. We'll just leave
caffeine.
it
Okay,
at caffeine.
good to know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so happy to have you both back on board. How have you both been? I can't believe, it's already the end of 2023. It feels like just yesterday we did this in 2022.
Yeah, no, this year flew by. I still remember doing this last year, so it I feel like the time gets shorter between each of these now. But
Definitely.
yeah, it was a good year. It was a good year. It was definitely different from last year, and I think we'll get into it as far as like our thoughts on the collaborations, the general releases. But I definitely think it was a lot different. A lot different.
A lot different. Yeah. And I
Hmm.
know, Sean, you've been killing it, with videos. I feel like you are
Mhm.
pretty much doing every sneaker release. I don't even know, how you do it with the family and everything. It's pretty crazy to see your output.
When you're having fun, it's not like a job. Like I do this completely on the side, so juggling full-time job, being a dad, content creation. It's just like occupies my time, but it's fun. So, but to echo what Ron said, yeah, this year has been it's been quite different than last year. Um, some reasons good, some reasons bad, but we'll get into that later on in this live.
Yeah, and hopefully at the end, Ron could give us some insider tidbits.
Maybe.
Maybe just a little bit as a early
Yeah.
holiday gift for everyone in here tonight. But I'm really excited to hear both of your top tens of 2023. I know it's definitely been a different year for New Balance. A lot of different silhouettes that they're pushing that we really haven't seen in the past few years, and some very interesting collabs that they've really incorporated into the mix this year too, which is quite interesting. But I guess we'll get into the tidbits as we go through our top 10. But let's start with you, Ron. What goes down is number 10 for this year?
So this year I made two lists. So if you do follow my page, what I did was I did a general release top 10 and I also did a collaboration top 10. I think some of the
Okay.
like feedback I got from the past few years, having done this for I think almost this is our fifth year doing it as far as the lists go. It was people having such strong opinions on GRs versus collabs. So we
Hmm.
definitely wanted to separate them this year. So I can give you I'll give you my top 10 for both.
Okay, great. Yeah,
Yeah.
we can do a mixture.
Yeah. So for the collaborations, for number 10, I picked the Bodega New Balance 610. It was called the Trail Less Taken. That was a collaboration that came out early in 2023. So I think some people might have forgotten about it, but it was a blue colorway. Mine's by the front door, so I can't turn behind me and grab it. But it's one of my go-to pairs. I love that pair. Shout out Bodega, Matt, and the crew there. And when it comes to the GR. I would say the 991 V1 underglaze. But I think Sean, you have that pair, don't you? The that's like a kind of a tannish pair. Looks almost like a desert like sand pair. I
The
think
one that just dropped,
it dropped like a month ago, maybe a month or
the
so.
the Urban Winter one, right?
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I picked that up.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I really
Yeah,
like
solid
it.
GR choice and collab choice.
Mhm.
Bodega's always, given us some fire pieces. I feel like they can do no wrong. They always seem to kill it with the collabs they do with New Balance, which is why they're so consistently collaborators every single year, it seems like.
Hmm. Yeah, and I will say, just to add, the 610 I thought was one of the better new models that came out this year. There were some collaborations for it, probably nothing mind blowing as far as like flying off the shelves or high resale, but like I actually thought that model was extremely comfortable. I thought it was affordable, and then like even like what was the one that recently came back out, the Amine one that restocked. So again, like there's a lot of great colorways of that shoe, and it's very comfortable.
How about you, Sean? What goes down as your number 10 New Balance of 2023?
First of all, before I kick off my list, I just want to say that Ron is totally cheating by giving one of each, so he has a top
I
20
know.
in this video.
I feel like we need honorable mentions now, Sean,
I
actually,
thought
right? I was
Ron,
just thinking about that.
I thought you're gonna merge your lists and give us
I
like a
know.
true top 10, but hey, I
I'll do
mean,
it. I'll do it.
all
Right.
love.
I'll do it on the
I
fly.
know.
I'll do it on
I
the fly.
know. We may have
Okay,
to throw
okay.
some honorable
All
mentions
right.
in there to keep up with Ron since he's got 20 coming
Yeah,
in.
seriously. But in all seriousness, okay, so my top 10, and if anyone's already seen my video, it's gonna be the exact same list. But number 10, I have the Carhartt Work in Progress 990 V6, which is probably blasphemous for a lot of you guys because I know that's like a very popular release from this year, but I have it number 10. I'm gonna talk positive. So it's a beautiful colorway. The materials were great. It just screams like Carhartt Work in Progress when you look at the shoe. Um, yeah, so it's dope. Yeah, number 10.
Yeah. No, it's a solid pick. I watched your top 20 list, and actually, Sean, you have a top 20 list too. So
I do. Yeah,
anyway,
Are we
and you
doing
have
top
a ton.
20 now? Is that what we have to
Yeah,
change our number to?
it's gonna be a 2 hour thing.
yeah,
I
Marissa.
know. I was like, Ron, you should have given me and Sean a heads up. I've got 20
Yeah.
here too. Now I'm like hiding the other 10.
No, I having watched Sean's list, I agree. I think the Carhartt that was a great shoe. I think it was pretty hard to get. I don't think a lot of people were able to get their hands on it that wanted it. I know there was that GR that came out over the last couple of weeks. It's kind of like a poor man's Carhartt version, but
Hmm.
again, it's a great shoe. It's a great shoe, and I think that what made number 11 on your list actually would have been way higher for me, which was that Incense Olive
Yep.
990 V4.
The poor man's jound.
Yep, the
The
poor
poor
man's
man.
Nest.
Oh, now we're
Yeah.
doing poor man's versions
Yeah,
here. I
we
see
need
how
to
it
have
is.
we need
Ron,
to have
it's
a
like
poor
one for
man's
every
list.
shoe.
No, I think that's true. In my opinion, again, we'll when we start merging the GR and collab list, like in my opinion, that's like a top two, top three GR. In my opinion. All right, I digress.
All right, so the Carhartt is definitely going to be a little bit higher up on my list. But my top 10, I guess it's kind of one, but not one. I don't have my favorite one, Ron. You do, but it's definitely the Belly Pack.
Yeah.
That was a recent release.
Yeah.
I really wanted the Chicago exclusive, and I'm so sad because I love that blue so much. It is my like sapphire. I love sapphire because it's my stone for September. That yes. Oh, and with those laces, Ron, I'm so jealous right now. I just wanna. I want to.
Ron, do you know how
you.
limited the blue one was?
I mean, it's pretty limited. It's I don't want to say it was as limited as the 992 that Joe did in 2020,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's pretty limited. I only know that it was available for that Chicago pickup, and there's no future release too. So
Yeah.
yeah, production numbers though I don't know, but I was pretty fortunate to get a hold of them. Shout out Joe, Luis, the whole crew there. Thank you. But,
Yeah, they
yeah,
really killed it with this one. I mean, I'm happy with this colorway too. I think this is a solid color. I do think that blue though is just something
yeah,
so different. It's not a very common suede and texture that you see. I
yeah,
don't have a lot of colors. I'm looking around that honestly are like that as far as like New Balance goes. But yeah,
yeah.
just solid colorway. This is definitely going to be a beater shoe for me. I've already
Look at
started
you
kind
guys are
of
just holding your intros and just I got
see.
nothing. So I mean,
You're gonna do a magic trick right now, Sean,
Yeah.
and turn that magically
Turn that into a
into
shoe.
the blue pair for me. And you're gonna be like, Marissa, it's a
Yeah.
7.5. What are the odds of that? Crazy.
Yeah. I did the black laces though, Marissa. I ended up switching.
Oh, you
I don't know.
switched it to the black. Actually, I like seeing the black as well. It's a little bit
Mhm.
more muted.
Yeah, it's a little. I don't know. Like you said, it kind of blends with the tongue, but yeah. When I go to Miami, I'm rocking these.
Yeah, this
This
is
is
going
my
to be a
favorite,
great
by the way.
silhouette and color
Yeah.
scheme for Miami for sure. I love a
I
990
do
V4.
love, as much as I do love this shoe, I still think this is my favorite though of the pack.
Yeah, intro is my
Really, yeah.
favorite for sure.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do think it's the most wearable, 100%. Just
Yeah.
trying to be bold these days,
Yeah.
Ron. I'm trying to
Yeah.
add some more color to my wardrobe, and doing it with a little pop of color on the sneaker is
Yeah.
the easiest way, safest bet. All right, so moving on to number 9, or I guess technically 9, and what number for Ron since he's doing 2 now?
No, we're gonna merge. We're gonna merge. We'll go with the Jam 991. I
Okay.
just think it's just such a clean shoe. It's a shoe that like this moment right now, it is still one of the premier streetwear brands. Whatever they're putting out, people are jumping all over. I did like the 2002 Storm Blue that came out a couple months ago. I didn't get my hands on that, but this to me was a must-have, and
Storm
this
Blue.
colorway too.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, it reminds me so much of
This
that.
one?
That one, yeah, I didn't get my hands on that one. But yeah, this is number 9 for me.
Solid choice. That's on my list as well. A little bit different placing, but Jound always kills it. I mean, with New Balance, it's interesting to see that they're actually going to start doing some collabs with Adidas now as well. I've
Yep.
already seen some leaked pictures for that, but every brand they work with, I mean, it's always a solid color that they go with.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Reebok,
Jound is one of those things. Either you love them or you
or you don't. Yeah,
just
Oh,
think
yeah.
they're a joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm surprised it's that low on your list, considering, I mean, the general opinion, they seem to be pretty high up there. But anyways,
It's high up
Yeah.
on my list. High
Yeah,
up on my
yeah, it's
list.
high
So
up on my list, too.
exactly. I mean, I did get the Jound Crocs this year too. That was one collab I wasn't expecting.
Mm.
yeah, I got those. I looked at them. I'm like, no, this is too much. I hooked up a homie and
Yeah.
yeah,
Gave him as a
Yeah.
gift.
exactly. Yeah.
I lived in the
Uh,
Soleil Crocs this summer. I only Crocs I purchased, but
Yeah,
I
those
get
are
lots of compliments on my Soleil Crocs, definitely. I
Crocs,
think
yeah.
people definitely take a second look at my feet and ask me, what are those? And I
What are
reply,
those?
If I'm
"They're
rocking Crocs though, I want it to be like crazy loud and bold. So
Yeah.
wearing like a white or a black Jound Crocs, it just
mhm.
I
It's
couldn't
too
do it.
basic for you, Sean.
It's way too basic.
Hey, what about the flashy little gold, addition
I
that
guess
they
if you're
added
like
there?
like a foot away from my foot, but yeah, other than
Yeah.
that, it just looks like a nurse or something or like a doctor.
So
All right,
what
Sean,
is
number
your
Curious.
pick, Sean?
Yes,
for,
at number 9,
number 9.
I have the Kith Madison Square Garden New York Knicks 990 V6.
All right.
Knicks or
two-
Rangers?
What's that?
Knicks or Rangers?
Knicks. Yeah, of the
Like the
two,
Knicks,
the Knicks was by far my favorite of the two. The Rangers is dope in its own way, and it's like a bit more muted and understated. But the Knicks, like, I like white or cream based sneakers more than like darker sneakers in general.
Mm.
So having that cream color, but then you have the splashes of like the iconic blue and orange that just like
Mhm.
set it off. So, and the 990 V6 is extremely comfortable, so it's a perfect match.
Arguably the most comfortable New Balance out right now. Arguably.
Arguably, but yes.
I agree with your pick. I only got the Rangers one. I didn't get the Knicks one. And so if I had my chance to get it, I would have. But I think between the two, I agree. Because the one thing I don't like about the Rangers one is that from afar, it almost looks like black. But then when you're closer, then you can see the navy, which the New York Rangers uniforms were clearly blue. So it's just kind of odd that it is kind of like leaning black almost. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Well, since we're talking about this is my
There it is.
number
Yay.
9, so I might as well show you. Big
Yeah.
Rangers fan, so definitely had the snag pair. Used to go to more games a bit consistently, but I do see where you think it can kind of give off a black tone. It's a very dark blue. This
Mhm.
is definitely one of the darker shades of navy I think I've seen. Even if I hold it up to actually my protection pack, I mean, that's pretty close,
It's
It's pretty
pretty
close.
dark, yeah.
Yeah.
right? That's crazy. Definitely need to have it up close to the
Yeah.
light, but I do think that they did a great job with the Knicks as well. Um, yeah, I feel like I attend more hockey games surprisingly than I do basketball games. The Knicks are just so difficult to get into these days. It's like a runway show courtside, but I feel like if you're going to be courtside, you have to have this pair of New Balance with the Knicks color scheme going on. This is definitely something I was excited to add to the collection, and yeah, I mean, it's a shoe I can beat up and hopefully not show all my stains on the suede on this one, since like you said, Ron, it's very dark.
I mean, you could also make the argument that Ronnie did not only the best collabs this year, but like when you just kind of look through the entire calendar, like there was like something every quarter coming out from Kith.
Every quarter.
That was awesome. And like usually it's like you get one misfire, you might get one, gem, but like I think everything Ronnie put out this year was awesome.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, it's insane his output. Even when I was at Comic Con in San Diego,
Mhm.
like I had no clue who's going to be dropping an X Men collab right then and there. It was like a huge surprise, and I mean, he did a whole capsule collection with it, which is also crazy to me. Not only is he doing a sneaker, but he typically will release like an entire capsule with the sneaker he's releasing as well.
Oh yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
biased because he opened his store in Toronto, and
Oh
we got
yeah.
the 1700 and Rococo Red and the Marshmallow colorways. You have them back there? Yes.
Yeah, I
There you,
knew.
There
You
goes your
know,
money, Sean. I'm
there you
sorry.
go.
That sucks. I feel so bad for you.
I have one qualm about this shoe, the
The
toe
toe.
box.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
But people
the
have
toe box.
reshaped it.
Yeah, I
I,
mean,
Ah.
taking an iron though to this though, this is like some pretty delicate suede though.
well, you put like a
What's
towel
up
on
with the
top,
toe
right?
box?
Yeah.
Is it
I mean,
denting?
it's
It's
just
just
really square.
boxy.
So it's
Yeah.
yeah, the 1700 is typically a made in USA shoe, and they usually have a sleeker toe box. These are Asia made, and I don't know, the shape is a little wonky in the front,
Ron, you
but
don't have square feet? That's so strange. What
I
is
didn't
wrong
say
with
I
you?
did. I didn't say I did.
I'm dead. All right, so now we are moving closer, I guess, into our top five. But what goes down as your number 8 pick, Ron?
Number 8 for me, 991 V2 Stone Island. I was
Ah, Stone
not
Island.
able to get my size in the shoe, so it's sitting in a box over there. But I just love the 991 V2. It was such a surprise to. I have the shoe in the gray colorway, the navy, and the Pata sea moss colorway. I put that shoe like 1A, 1B with the 990 V6 as far as comfort. Like it's such a soft shoe. I love the lightweight like feel of it. The materials are so like plush and premium. I've always been a big 991 fan, but the thing is, I have a little bit of a wider foot, so typically the 991, my
It's a
pinky
little
toes
bit more
kind of poke in.
narrow.
Yeah, so I'm usually like lacing them pretty loose, but I don't want to say the 99 V2 is or 991 V2 is wider, but um, I just feel like the uppers and the materials are a little more forgiving that I can wear my true size and be okay. But yeah, that
Solid pick.
I like that colorway, and I know
Are you
New
a fan of
Balance.
Stone Island as well?
Yeah, I am. I have a couple hoodies. It was one of those like brands too that like it's such a premium brand. There's so
Mm-hmm.
many like classic New Balance collaborations from years past from Stone Island that this one just kind of falls right in line. With a lot of those classics.
Yeah, solid choice. How about you, Sean? What goes down
Number
as your number
8,
8?
I have the Action Bronson 990 V6 Lapis Lazuli. Let me think. Number 8. Why do I have it at number 8? Well, there's 7 other pairs I like better than that. But to be honest, of the 2 Action
So
Bronson
yes.
releases, I do prefer the baklavas over that one. It does play it safe, which is good in the sense that people can wear it more often. It's a more
Mhm,
versatile sneaker.
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
This is definitely on my list as well. But I have to agree with you, Sean. I think between this one and the baklava, which I think got so much more attention,
Yeah.
this one, in my opinion, like holding them both next to each other, like this by far is like my palette. I feel like this is something easier to style. What do
Yes.
you think, Ron? Do you prefer the baklava over this one, or?
I do. I prefer
Yeah.
the baklava, and we'll get to that on my list. And I'll tell you right now, it's way up there.
Ugh,
This shoe actually didn't even crack my top 10. I really
really?
like it. I think the rope laces kill it. I love. I think what it actually say. There's like 7 or 9 different blues on here, so like you can kind of see, a little bit about, actually, this is what I learned this summer, being overseas. Lapis lazuli it's the color of the paintings of Mother Mary, back in the like 1500s. It was a certain hue of blue that you could only like create that blue from lapis lazuli, which was found in the Middle East. So like if you were like fortunate enough to get a hold of some, that's what you painted Mother Mary with, and that's it. You didn't use it for anything else. So I was like,
So
oh
is this
wow,
sneaker made with that as well, Ron? I'd like to know.
I don't think so. It says made in
Because the price point value
USA.
in the sneaker just went up
Yeah,
a
just
lot.
went up. Yeah, I do love this shoe. I think that it's wearable, like much like more wearable than the baklava. I've worn this to like for my day job. I've worn this to like a conference before, just because it like is so muted and still looks kind of dressy and classy at the same time. So I do love the comfort of the 990 V6. So like it's still one of my favorite V6s for the year. But yeah, the baklava is still my preference.
Well, Big Daddy Cool Keck says I'd wear those on the gloomy day and the baklavas on a clear day. Okay, well
Mhm.
that's a good way to kind
Yeah,
of differentiate the two when you want to wear them. I like that.
good rationale.
That is a good rationale and why you
Yeah,
should just buy everything, right? Summer for
yeah,
gloomy days and summer for brighter days.
yeah.
All right, so my number 8, we already kind of talked about this a little bit, Ron, because this is one that you said you really wanted was the
Mhm.
2002R Storm Blue Jown collaboration. I'm always drawn to the Jown collabs. I just think they're always so clean. This blue is just beautiful. I really
Mhm.
like the subtleness of it, and it kind of I love wearing light denim, so I feel like this is just such a good pairing with light denim pieces, and you see some subtle hues of silver touches throughout as well. But the 2002 are also just one of my favorite New Balance silhouettes. I tend to typically have these always by my door, but
Mhm.
yeah, just a solid looking kick, and then of course it comes with some additional black laces. What do you feel? Cream or
I
black
like
with
the white.
these?
Keep the
Yeah,
white
Oh
in.
yeah, keep the lighter
yeah.
laces.
Sean, did you
Yeah,
get him? You got him,
I
right?
did. It was that was number 20 on my top 20.
I feel like you
Mm.
It
just
just
posted
just
this
made the
one
cut.
too, Sean, like recently,
Not too long
right?
ago. Yeah,
Yeah,
not too
not too
long
long
ago.
ago.
Mhm.
Good
Mhm.
looking sneaker. Lucky
Mhm.
number 7. What's number 7, Ron?
Number 7 for me, the 998 Concepts reissue of the C Note. I
Okay.
I love that shoe. It's probably one of my top. I put it top 5 all time on
Oh,
NB
for sure,
Collab.
for
Yeah, it's
sure.
up there. So like, some people, some of the quote unquote purists were not happy with the concepts heel marking on the newer reissue, but I didn't care. Like for me, it was I just needed a new pair. My OGs were beyond recognition, so I was happy to just get another pair. But shout outs to the concepts crew for bringing that back.
I think actually on my chat earlier for top 10, Mons actually had that on her top 10 list. She's obsessed
Mm,
with that pair. So solid
yeah,
colorway. I mean, very
it's
interesting color
gorgeous.
blocking, but it really all worked together perfectly.
Yeah,
Someone posted on Instagram or Reddit. There was a mock-up of a 990 V6 in the colorway of the C Note.
so,
So I
Oh,
thought
interesting.
that would have been a really dope. Like in one sense, I get it. Like because I personally wanted a re-up of my OGs, but
Yeah.
for those guys that were like, oh, they shouldn't have re-released a classic. It would have been cool if Concepts brought out the colorway as a 990 V6, or even like
yeah.
a two shoe pack, like a
Interesting.
offer one as a 998 and then one as a 990 V6, kind of like paying homage to past and present. I don't know. I
Yeah.
thought that Could have been a good
Giving New Balance all
opportunity.
these ideas, Sean. You're gonna
Mm.
have to get a consulting fee over there.
No one listens to me. Don't worry about it.
And then we're gonna get this next year and be like, Sean, remember that live we did? And look, your secret just
Yeah, I
released.
know, right?
They can call it the Sean
Yep.
or the Go. They can choose.
The Go, yeah, I like that. The Go.
Yeah. No, how about Sean Seps? Sean Seps.
Oh,
Concepts. Oh,
yeah,
Yeah.
that really
Sean
rolls
Go
off the
X
tongue.
Concepts collab. Yeah, I dig it. I dig it.
What about you, Sean? What's your number 7?
Before I give you my number 7, I think in the chat, Caesar Tello said, "If I don't see the 610 trail as taken on at least one top 10, I swear." But Ron, that was your 10, right?
That was my number 10.
Yes,
may have missed
that
one,
was
so.
Ron's number 10. For those of
Yes.
you who are just jumping in here, AJ's actually posting our different numbered sneakers in the chat. So if you're just hopping in and you missed any of our top 10s that we've gone through so far, they're actually in the comment box.
Perfect. Okay, yeah. So on that note, number 7, I have another Kith collaboration. This one is the 998 Frank Lloyd Wright Foundation in the chutney colorway, which is the red toe pair of the two. This was a great way to reintroduce the 998. Like Ron was saying, the 998 was kind of like the staple, iconic silhouette for New Balance back in like a decade ago or whatever. So to bring it back with those two releases, I thought it was great. Both colorways were really good in their own way. The chutney one I preferred over the two, just has more of a mature vibe to it and just a little bit more muted, whereas the apricot pair, that's a bit more spring and summerish. But I thought the chutney pair just fits like my style a little bit more. So that one, great quality. I know the 998 kind of, they tweaked the sizing a little bit, but for that initial Kith release, I didn't find that it was as snug as some of the subsequent releases. So that pair fit me fine. And yeah, no, it was great.
Yeah, it was a great looking pair.
The retro definitely fit different, than the OG. Yeah. And you can even tell just looking at the rear. I don't have a 998 on the wall right now, but yeah, you could even just tell on the heel, like how it kind of like jutted out more, than the OG, towards the heel strike. I like both colorways, apricot and the darker one. I know you put the darker one higher. Obviously, I like orange, so like I lean apricot, but I just think it's just based on your outfit
personal
of the
preference.
day, right? Yeah, but I for me it was like a big, people call it snub on my top 10 collab list. Like I got
people
lots
were pissed,
of
eh?
People were pissed that it didn't make the top 10, and it was right there. Like it was. I mean, to me, like that Bodega 610, I really love that shoe. So it was hard for me to leave off the Frank Lloyd Wright pairs, but you're right. That was a great way to reintroduce that model.
Yeah, solid choice, Sean and Ron. It looks like David is saying he agrees with anything you say, Ron. So you can do no wrong on this live this evening, according to David.
Right. That's a first. That is a first.
Is that a first?
That's a first.
And Sean, you actually got to go to the opening of Kith in Canada. How was that? That looked insane.
It was good. Yeah, it was crazy because well, not only was Ronnie there, obviously, but there was other, I guess you could say, celebrities and athletes that were in the building, and everyone's all playing it cool. Like I'm obviously trying to play it cool, but like
Sean,
Blue Jays
just, like,
legend.
Sup, Ronnie? How you doing?
Yeah.
Long
Blue
time.
Jays legend Jose Bautista was there, like 5 feet away from me. So I was just looking at him, and then he looks at me. And I'm like, oh, just play it cool. Don't make eye contact. Don't ask for autographs, nothing like that. But yeah, it was the store is beautiful. You guys got to check it out if you come to Toronto one day. And it's just great having like a physical store. It's just because when it's sold out online, chances are it's still available in the shop. So I've gone down to the store a handful of times to buy something that's already sold out online. So it's just a great perk and a great way to spend more money.
Especially New Balance. I tend to pick up New Balances that people don't go after for raffles all the time. Like if I'm in town, I just like head on over to one of the Kiths and they'll be like, oh yeah, we've got a couple of those in your size. I'm like, really? Are you sure about that? No one wanted these? Okay. And I'm sure the store smells amazing because all of the Kith stores smell incredible. What did you have on foot though? Were
Yeah.
you
That
rocking
night?
some heat? Yeah,
I,
the event. What'd
oh,
you have
that's a
on
good
feet?
question. I don't even remember what I was wearing. I'll have to get back to you on that because I don't remember.
It's all
Sean,
right,
is
Sean.
it by so the last time I was in Toronto, the Jordan store was still on Yonge. Is it by that location or where
No, no,
is
no, no. So that first of all, that store closed down. The Jordan store's gone.
yeah,
It's just
I heard
now like a
so.
really big
Oh,
Foot Locker now. But
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
more. It's in Yorkville, which is like where all the rich people shop. I guess you could say. Like we have
is
a
Yorkville
Chanel.
the ritzy place? Is that like the
Yeah,
Upper
like
East
you got the
Side kind of
Chanel
thing?
store. You got the Stone Island store. You got like the Prada and all that stuff, and
Mhm,
Dior, all that stuff. So
mhm.
he obviously
Yeah.
wanted to market his store as more of a upscale
Yeah,
brand as
luxury.
opposed to like a streetwear
Yeah,
brand. So it's
yeah.
I mean,
It's always nice too. All of his stores aesthetically are slightly different too. My favorite one, I think, that I last visited was in Hawaii, and that store was
Mhm,
incredible inside. It was definitely very artistic and,
mhm.
just felt really open compared to New York, but we don't have as much space out here, so things are
yeah.
a little bit more on
Mhm.
the cram side since real estate's really expensive, especially commercial real estate when you're renting out here.
Yeah.
Oh, I do
I'll be in
remember
my
what I was wearing that night, guys. I
Oh,
was
you do?
rocking
yeah.
the Kith 1700.
I
Talk
knew
about
it. I
Oh,
was like, I know
1700.
you were wearing something, Kith. I was just trying to
It
figure out
was
Yeah,
which it was.
the
the red.
colorist pack from a few years
Oh,
ago.
oh,
The
Oh,
light
okay.
blue and
nice.
pink. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's what I was
Yeah.
rocking.
Sean's taking it
Love it.
back into the
Yeah.
archives.
That, that was a great shoe.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll be in Miami next week, so I'm gonna make sure I hit up the South Beach one. I went a couple years ago to that location. Get my Kith treats.
I know you always get kid treats when you're out there, Ron.
Yeah,
I feel like, but you
yeah,
have to. They also have, I feel like,
yeah.
different flavors depending on where you are location wise.
Mhm.
They switch it
Yep.
up a little bit. I
Yep.
just
Yeah.
do the same thing all the time, which is just like the
Mhm.
cinnamon toast crunch. I think it's called flat white. That's like my go-to
Mhm.
every time.
I don't remember which one I usually switch it up. I've been to I think three of them, and I always switch it up though.
I went
But
to one like a pop up in the Hamptons, and they had like a special exclusive Hamptons kid treats out there. But I'm pretty sure it was just every cereal mixed up into one. Just threw everything in it.
multicolor.
Anthony, I know you love kid treats.
Yeah.
All right, so my number 7, I actually don't have, but it's the New Balance Warped Runner. Really cool, just brand new silhouette this year. Having trouble finding some of my sneakers as I was going through boxes today. Oh, there we go. So
Mhm.
the OG colorway was the one that I'm in love with. That's
Mhm.
interesting. That green tone.
Yeah,
I don't mind it, Ron. It's not so
yeah. It was
bad.
this was actually like my Christmas shoe. I wore this a lot this past week,
Were you
just
the
because
Grinch this year, Ron?
I mean, you know what though? I agree that that warped first OG colorway that made my top 10 like GR list. I
Oh,
love
it
that
did.
colorway.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I love that colorway.
Yeah, solid colorway. I feel like you would like that too, Sean, because
Mhm,
it's pretty
mhm,
neutral
mhm.
tone.
I'll be
But
honest. At
always.
first, I did not like the look of the shoe, but
Oh, you
it's
didn't.
definitely one of those pairs that grew on me, and they're really
Mhm.
comfortable, surprisingly. So,
So comfortable. I mean, that
So
all day
comfortable.
wear, all day wear. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. I
So I
like
still
them.
have mine. I have my OG pair.
Yeah,
Yeah, I always get excited though seeing new silhouettes. It's always just kind of fun to
mhm,
test it out. We always have our first
mhm,
impressions. It's like meeting somebody new for the first time and
mhm.
try not to judge a book by its cover, but then you put it on your foot and you're like, oh, why? It's so cozy. It's gonna be
Yeah.
a
No,
go-to by the door.
I was impressed. I was impressed.
Moving on to number 6, Ron. What is your number 6?
Number 6, and Sean's gonna call me a cheater, but I'm gonna put the belly pack basically as my number 6 because I again we can make the intro pair the one if you want, but in my opinion, if like this shoe or those shoes came out in let's say September or October, I'd put them a lot higher. I think just coming out so late in the year may have been a detriment, but I guess we're not shocked to see Joe Freshgoods put out another banger, right? Like I was so happy seeing the original pictures of these. So amped. Again, for this colorway in particular, I got the black ones by the door, and I love all three. I kind of like rotate of what my favorite is. At the moment, it's going to be this one. I think it's been this one the longest, but shout out to fellow Chicago and Joe Freshgoods on another banger.
Yeah, no. So I mean that was in my top 10. I guess I kind of cheated too, so I was thrown in it in the entire pack. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Did come pretty late in the year though. I was kind of waiting for him. I'm like, I know there's got to be something that he's holding on to, but when are we going to see it?
They did drop. He did drop the 650, that Stuntman one, which
got
was
that
also
one too.
Yeah. But,
shout out to him for sending these to me as well. I don't think mine had a number though. Did yours have a number in yours, Ron?
Yeah, mine does.
It was on one shoe, right?
Yeah,
I feel like mine's numberless.
Yeah, check the right one. The left one doesn't have it.
Yeah, let me double check. So I thought mine didn't have a number in it, and mine just says Joe smiley face.
Oh, look at like sample.
So is that a better number?
You could just write one on there.
Exactly. I'm like, unless I'm just blind and I can't see a number, but I'm pretty sure it just says Joe with a smiley face on it.
Yeah, I didn't get my F and F pair, so maybe I got the common man's number.
You got the common man's numerical number. I'm sorry, Ron. I got the Joe smiley face.
Yeah. I guess living in Chicago means nothing.
No, you got the whole pack from the team. I'm totally envious of that.
I mean, shout out to the crew there. I'm so blessed. I'm blessed.
All right, Sean, what is your number 6?
At number 6, I'm gonna have the Stone Island 991 V2, which we've already kind of talked about with Ron's pick previously. I think it's one of those shoes where you really need to see it up close to really appreciate like all that goes into it. Like, first of all, the mesh on the toe and the tongue, it's such a unique looking mesh, right? It's this bold olive color. It pops a lot more in real life than it does in pictures, I feel like. And then when you look at it from afar, it's like one of those shoes that you can wear with pretty much whatever you want, right? Because from afar, it's just a black sneaker, but you can really appreciate those details when you get up close to it. And the 991 V2 is a lot more comfortable than the 991 V1, even though my feet are a little bit wider, and it's still, I wish it was like a little bit wider to accommodate my toes. It still is a step above the normal 991, which is good. So that's a start. And I'm kind of curious to see, like, I haven't picked up any pair since that Stone Island pair, but I know the gray one looks beautiful and it's still sitting on shelves. So if that goes on discount, I'm definitely going to add that to the collection.
It's not going on discount yet in Canada.
Not yet.
Again, Boxing Day, right?
Day, but no, it's like $350 Canadian dollars or something. Yeah, it's crazy.
You're not going to see it go down either. Made in UK models typically don't drop like that unless it's been like 6 months. Well, especially like the core like colorways, like your grays, your navies.
I just need that 20% off, and I'm in.
And you're good.
Yeah.
It was one. If there was one shoe I wore for the most consecutive days this year, it was the 991 V2. When the gray one came out, I wore it for 2.5 weeks straight, which is like
wow, nice. Ron, 2.5 weeks.
Yeah,
that shoe should win an award at this point.
Yeah, I actually had to clean them. But it was. I love the shoe. I really do. I think I have my gray one's by the door. Here's the Pata Sea Moss colorway. Marissa, if you don't have one yet, I mean the 991 V2. If you like the V6, you'll like this shoe.
Yeah, I love the V6. Haven't tried that one out yet. It's definitely been on the radar. Yeah, my New Balance closet has been taking control of my apartment lately. So it's been really rough. Spring cleaning is going to come in the wintertime, I think.
I know the feeling too well.
Yes, it has been a very good year for sneakers, but definitely trying to get savvier with where I'm going to be putting things since toys have now become a new part of my life with figurines.
Mm,
That's been a tricky one, balancing the two, sneakers and toys, sneakers and toys.
yeah, that's a whole nother drug, Marissa.
It really is.
Yeah,
It's problematic. I
really.
need I need a home soon.
Yeah.
100%. Someone's asking about the Boro Pack 580 and 550 are pretty cool. They were a Japan exclusive drop, and that's why they probably flew under the radar for most people. I didn't get a chance to see those. Ron, what about you
Mhm.
or Sean? Have you
Um,
guys
I
taken a
haven't.
look at those?
I just
Yeah,
saw like online images, but not I've never seen it in
yeah.
real life.
Yeah, I haven't seen them in person either. There's some good shots on NBsOnly. When they first dropped, I was able to repost some people that did that were overseas and able to grab them. I mean, what's funny is you almost have to look closely when they're side by side, the 580 and 550, to see which is which, because they
It's
look
hard to
the color
tell.
blocking. They're so similar. Like I had to like do a double take. I'm like, oh, it's two different shoes. I thought it was the same pair, but it really is gorgeous. It's like a denim pack. It looks like a denim
Okay.
pack, so it's got like multicolor like patches of denim. So, yeah, it's a bummer it wasn't widely produced, but yeah, it's a pretty pack, and I've yet to see anyone like from those Japan shops like drop them too. I want to say like most folks sold out either in store or I only saw maybe one retailer with like really small sizes. Actually, might see if they have a 7.5 for you, Marissa. But yeah,
I need
they
some
have
friends in Japan or something because
yeah,
sometimes
get some
Japan has these
proxy.
fire
Yeah.
releases and it's so painful when you just
Yeah.
don't have any access to them. I'm like, oh goodness. I know you've gone
Yeah.
through it being in Canada, Sean, though. I know we've been
Oh yeah,
very fortunate over here in the
Yeah.
US, but
we
at
we
least you
live
have a
and
kid
breathe
store
that.
now.
Exactly. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Take what you can get, right? So what's on your list, Sean, for this pick?
Uh, did we skip Ron's number? What are we?
Did I skip you, Ron? I don't even know. I'm like,
Um.
Five, right?
oh no, it's
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone. I skipped
Oh, yeah.
myself.
Okay.
Skipping myself out of turn. So mine is going to be the Action Bronson. So we already talked about this. Or no, sorry. I'm skipping to 5. I'm like ahead of this. This is actually my number 6.
Oh, those
I
are
know.
nice.
I'm
Those
totally.
are solid.
As a Sonics
Yeah.
fan, I fell in love with these. I love the Sonics colors. I just have so many random jerseys laying around too, and I've been kind of waiting for a New Balance pair to just match it perfectly. But these Teddy Santa's 990 V3s are just, yeah, they really, really killed it with this color scheme.
Yeah, beautiful color. I know the Teddy Santa's line didn't have the same level of like excitement as it did last year, but
Yeah.
that pair is definitely one of the tops of 2023.
Yeah. Top three, I think, for like the Santis 2023. Also, I agree. I grabbed the V1. I didn't get the V3, but yeah. Once I saw that the first pictures come out in the lookbook, I was like, I gotta get one of the two.
Yeah.
I also
Yeah.
sucker for green on sneakers too. So
Me too. I'm biased for green. I always tell everybody that if you throw anything green in front of me, I probably 98% will like it.
yeah.
All right, everyone. We're officially on number 5. I can't count today. But yeah, this is a top 5. I know this is probably hard for you, Ron, as well as you, Sean, since I don't even know how many pieces you picked up, Sean. I can't keep up with all your New Balances these days. Now that you've got Kit there, you're gonna be just basically copying every single drop. I know
One
it.
of my resolutions in 2023 was to like be able to let
Slow down.
go of shoes more easily, because I've been doing this YouTube thing for years now, and like my problem is I just get attached to all the shoes that I buy to review. So I told myself like, all right, 2023, just don't get attached, review it, and if you love it, then you keep it. Otherwise, just let it go. Just let it go,
let
man.
it go.
Just let it go.
It is hard.
It is hard. So
Yeah.
like I'm counting all the New Balance pickups of the year, and it actually wasn't too bad. It was like just under 40 pairs that I kept.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's not that bad compared to last year, which was like a lot worse.
Yeah, last year was a tricky year for me. I held on to a lot more than I needed to.
Exactly.
100%. And I still, have my maybe pile, and I can't break through that pile. I look at it every day. I'm like, maybe I don't need this, and I put it back.
Yep.
Yeah. I think that's the dilemma, right? It's the if it doesn't jump into your rotation right away, it's kind of hard to like 6 months down the road, like pull it out and wear it. I don't know about you, like typically if I am wearing it right upon getting it, I'm keeping it. So
Yeah.
Yes.
it's usually when I don't wear it is when I'm like then deciding do I need to really keep these things or not. But um okay, for my number five, I have this pair. I was fortunate enough to first see it overseas, and then actually get it on a raffle. It's the 990 V3 size, orange and cream. So I know Sean, you're familiar with the shoe. I don't know, Marissa, if you've seen it before. It almost looks like it's a from one light it could be like an orange, or and then another could be cream. You got it, Sean?
Somewhere,
I think
but it's
orange
okay.
is your
Yeah, me
bias
too.
color, Ron. I don't know.
Yeah, I
I have
know.
this feeling.
I am a sucker
Or
for orange.
orange, your weak spot.
It is,
But
it's
990 V3 is my weak spot too. It's like
it,
by far one of my favorite silhouettes that New Balance pumps out.
Mhm.
So any colorway I will go after, but I did not pick up a pair of this. Sean, did you
yeah,
cover this pair?
I did. It's on my list to come, so stay tuned.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. No, it's in my opinion, this color, this hue is just gorgeous. And like, I saw it in, I was in Madrid this summer with my family, and it was in like a case in size, and there really wasn't a whole lot out there other than like some, skews and stuff like that, and I was able to like just see, coming in a month and a half, and I just like sat there and stared at it for a good like 5 minutes, but yeah, and
Call your
then
name.
on the app, I was actually able to get a pair on the raffle. So, yeah, 990 V3, it's one of my favorite models. And like again, when you see this hue in person, it is gorgeous. It's stunning.
Didn't they limit the raffle to only like the UK and Canada or something?
I thought so too, and I entered and I won.
Really?
It was weird.
Really?
I
Oh, that's weird.
when I hit, I was like, really? I was shocked.
Your name
Everyone was
slipped
like,
through the cracks, Ron.
Yeah,
yeah, definitely must
yeah,
have slipped through the cracks because people were
yeah.
complaining how if you're in the States, you didn't have
Yeah,
access
you
to
didn't
it.
get it. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know one other person stateside that got it. So again, I'm
Dang.
gonna stay
Ron's
mum.
raffle was
Yeah.
NB's only, and they were like,
Yeah.
"Wait a second, this is a
Yeah,
good name."
Location
Automatic win. I
worldwide.
know.
yeah. We'll let this guy get him.
Yeah.
Exactly. Somebody's asking about our thoughts on the Kawhi Leonard basketball shoes. I haven't done one in a really long time. I haven't really done too many performance New Balances this year. What are your thoughts,
Mhm.
Sean and Ron?
I played in the Kawhi 2 for like a month. Really didn't like it, and then
Mhm.
never tried another New Balance basketball shoe again. Even though I've heard some
It's
good
not
things from some of the
bad.
other models, but like it just wasn't for me. I'm pretty
Yeah.
particular when it comes to
Mhm.
performance. So
Yeah. So the Kawhi 3, in my opinion, is the best of the three. So he actually has four signature shoes. One was the Omni that came out in 2020, and then he had the his Kawhi 1, Kawhi 2, and then so the three came out in the spring this year. There was a white and black colorway that came out originally. I want to say it was like March Madness time or April around that time, and I was able to get a pair. I played in it. I loved it. And then there was a recall in May. What
Oh.
happened was there was eyelets. I can pull my pair, but it's like it's far. But there's eyelets that were popping out, and I never had it happen to me, and they were never coming loose on mine. But you can read the reviews that were on like NB.com. You could just read about people complaining about those eyelets popping out. So they recalled everything.
Oh.
They reissued the Kawhi 3 in November in new colorways, which Kawhi wore right away. So I want to say there's been three colorways that have come out since the NBA opener. And what's funny is like it's not that they sell out, but they'll be online, they'll be available, and then sizes will disappear. And then like the next colorway will come out, and then you'll see no trace of that previous colorway. So it's like get them now because you're probably not going to see them again. So
Interesting.
um,
So it's like a limited run. They keep it on there for a short time period, and then they kind of
yeah,
take it
yeah,
off.
they took it away. Yeah,
Interesting.
it's I will say cushioning's fantastic. The traction's unbelievable. The weight too is like I found the 1 and 2 to be really bulky. The shoe is kind of sleek. I really liked it.
So
I
the
really
two,
do.
Sean, is the one you
I
were
wore the
saying
2, yeah. I
wasn't as
wore the 2.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there you have it. So hopefully it sounds like the 3 may be the one that you want to try. Maybe steer clear of the 2, according to Sean. Not his favorite basketball pair. Little
But then again,
are your feet traumatized, Sean?
No, I'm a terrible basketball player. So I mean, if you want to take the advice of someone that shoots 30% from the field and grabs 5 rebounds with 3 assists, then hey,
We're not judging your basketball skills, Sean. Don't
totally
worry.
not.
Yeah. If you are looking though for a New Balance basketball shoe, the 2A
2A, yes, I've heard that
is an
consistently.
amazing shoe. So,
Yeah.
Shout out NB Hoop Life, Eric, who runs that page. You can see some really cool PEs on his page, but the V4, it's a really good shoe. The V3 was a good one too, but the V4 is like one step up. So, and I think the price point's like 120 maybe, or 120,
Wow, 120.
So
It's a good price point for a basketball shoe.
A good performance shoe, it's up there.
Yeah. Well,
Cool.
Yeah.
all right, Sean.
Number 5, yeah.
It's your turn.
Yeah, taking your approach of Teddy Santis GRs, I'm gonna go with the 990 V6 in the cream, aka mindful gray and bone colorway, which is like was one of the first 990 V6s that had the online community kind of going crazy. If you guys know what I'm talking about, it's somewhere here, but I don't want to find it. But it's that cream and brown and white and gray 990 V6, which is like beautiful. I mean, the fact that a non-collab, readily available shoe that's even available now on discount is number 5 on my list just shows you like how beautiful of a colorway that was, and I love it.
Yeah, it was arguably the best looking V6 this year outside of like the baklava, in my opinion. But it's a cream colorway, and I don't usually go for cream, which I found it funny. It was termed mindful gray because I don't.
Yeah,
the only
because it wasn't gray, right?
Gray. Yeah, there's like the hits on there on like on the side, but other than that, it's a cream and white shoe. It's nothing else, but it's gorgeous. And when it came out, it was like springtime. It was a great release.
Yeah, so good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good pick.
Sean's weakness, cream. Ron's weakness, orange. And green. So since I skipped mine, everybody knows what my number 5 is now. It's the lapis lazuli, which I guess we don't know if it has that actual specific blue that would make this one of the most expensive resold shoes on the market if that was the case. But yeah, I fell in love with this one. Again, like Sean, I kind of tiered more towards this over the baklava, but you know, to each their own. I guess we all have, different color schemes that we like. And again, I love the laces. I think that really just gave it a little extra. And the tone these are colors that I always think I would never be able to put together. But then when you see it in person, you're like, wow, the color blocking just works.
Do you have the New York Rangers pair in hand? Can you compare them side by side?
The New York Rangers one, actually. Let me just pull that so you can see. Actually,
they're like cousins.
Identical, that blue.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, the navy. Yeah.
Yeah, that navy is actually the same dark hue. I guess it just looks so different when it doesn't have this kind of aquamarine teal next to it. It kind of changes it a little bit, but that's pretty spot on.
Yeah. Never actually looked at them side by side like that, but yeah.
Yeah. I guess they like this suede tone. All right, everyone who's just jumping in here, it's Ron and Sean joining me for our top 10 New Balance picks for 2023, or I guess Ron's condensed version of his top 20. We're getting into below top 5 now. We're reaching into number 4. Ron, what is your number 4 pick?
Okay, I'm gonna go in the GR realm too. I've been living in the collab realm too much.
Giving too much love to the collaborations.
Yeah, too much for the collab. So a little different. The 576. So made in UK. This is the Bering Sea colorway. There is a sister shoe to this. It is the apricot colorway, which I also have by my front door, which is orange. Is actually just like this color, orange, like my hat. One of my most worn pairs of the year. But for me, like the 576 was a shoe that if you're into New Balances, like it's a shoe that the longer you stay onto the brand, like the more you gravitate to the 576. And this was a model this year that I ended up grabbing a lot of. Either GRs from this year. I did grab the Studio FY7 this year. I grabbed a lot of pairs from years past as well. So what's funny is a lot of my pickups this year were 576s. So again,
576 is interesting. It's a good looking
yeah,
lifestyle sneaker, in my opinion. I've seen a lot
it's
of girls actually rocking that in the city.
yeah, it's again, is it the most comfortable model? No, by no means. And what I will say about the 576, always premium materials, always like the most choice colorways too. But yeah, anyway, this came out in the spring. This one just jumped out at me, and when I saw the sister apricot pair, I'm like, okay, I
Gotta do
need
it.
both of those. So
I did the monk's
um,
robe of that pair.
okay, yeah, the
Completely different aesthetic.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, the 576, like you don't typically see it in collabs a lot. This is the FY7, which was a lot more muted than
Okay.
actually this is like a Tiffany blue, which there's a lot of people who call these Tiffany's. I'm like, no, don't call it that. There's an Air Force One
Tiffany's
you'd call
gonna sue them if it is the real Tiffany blue. You know, they got
oh
that
yeah.
colorway patented with Pantone. So
Yeah. I again 576 kind of my new drug, if you will.
For someone that's been into New Balance as long as I have, I've actually never ever found a 576 appealing.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like there's just
Do
something about it.
you how about 574s? Do you own any 574s?
Well, a couple, but
Okay.
it's not
I
your
think in
favorite.
general, it's like that sort of silhouette just has never really
Mhm.
been my thing.
Yeah. It's again like it's one of those things when one will grab you, you'll own it, you'll beat it up, you'll love it, and then next thing you know you're like, okay, I need another 576, and then it just kind of starts.
So it's just a matter of
Um,
time until I get hooked. Is that what you're
yeah,
saying?
it is just a matter of time. I'm gonna find you one, Sean. I'm gonna find you
Next year, Sean's top 10. It's gonna be
one.
all of that.
Five seven
that
six.
on
Yeah,
this.
576s.
Hey, if
Only
Ronnie does a
576.
Toronto Kith exclusive 576, you know I'm going to be first in line there.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I'm gonna be blowing up your phone to get me one too.
576. Yeah, I feel like I've seen a lot of 574s at like Ross's and
Yep. Yeah.
Marshalls, and that's kind of how I got into that silhouette, just because it was like a cheaper price point.
Totally. I think
Mhm.
that's the way a lot of us I discovered New Balance. Like for me, it was I think the Foot Locker two for $80. You could find like any colorway of a 574, and like were they comfortable? Absolutely not. Were they
Nope.
like an entry level shoe though that like worked with whatever fit you had? Sure. And again think of it as an elevated 574. Like it's again more plush materials made in the UK.
I was gonna say it's made in the UK, so it better be plush.
The construction. I will say this: like even the older pairs, typically when you wear like an older 576, you would think like, oh no, I got to worry about like crumbling and all this stuff. But like the construction's so on point that you don't have to worry about that.
Love me a made
Nice.
in UK, 100%.
Mhm.
All right, Sean.
Yes,
What is
number
your
four,
number
right?
4? Yep.
Another pair that's been spoken on already, but I have the size 990 V3 in the orange cream colorway. Ron kind of said everything there is to say. It's just at the end of the day, a beautiful, beautiful shade of orangey red slash peach, whatever you want to call it. But and the
Creamsicle.
nine
It's
nine
a creamsicle.
creamsicle, yeah,
Creamsicle,
perfect creamsicle,
It's like
yes.
yes.
a creamsicle.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And the fact
Yes.
that 990 V3 has kind of been has it been officially retired or
No, it's not retired. It's kind of
like
like with like let's say Nike, they'll take a silhouette and use it for 12 to 18 months, shelve it, and bring it back
okay, but
5 years
it's
later.
been
It's gonna
shelved,
come
right?
back to us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's
Like
kind of
right
a
now,
good
you're
way
gonna see
to it's a good
the
way to
V4s.
say
Yeah.
goodbye to the V3 for a
Mhm.
while. I think that's a good way to like end that chapter for now.
Mhm. Yeah. No, I agree.
We'll
I
be
agree.
awaiting the 990 V3's return. I will miss it.
Mhm.
I have plenty though
Yeah.
in my closet right now, so actually
Yeah,
it's probably
so
best
many
for me.
pairs.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's still some teddy pairs, maybe still dropping though. So I think you might still see a couple more, but it's gonna be dead for a
It's
while.
shifted to like the V4 and
It'll
998
be
now, I feel
a lot
like.
of V4. Yeah.
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 All right. Mine is the Carhartt.
Nice.
So yeah, I grew up wearing Carhartts. My town is just known as like the hick city where everyone went to school wearing Carhartts. It was just, I guess, our thing. So I've always had a place in my heart for the brand, but I was really excited to be able to get this. This was a really difficult pair. I know it was pretty
Mhm.
limited. I don't know if you even know like stock numbers on this, Ron, but I don't know a lot of people that were able to snag a pair of these when they officially released.
Mhm. I don't know actual production numbers, but it was limited. Yeah, it was limited. Like
And
dot
it's got my
com
green
didn't
on
have
it,
them.
my
Yeah.
olive tone,
Mhm.
which again I'm a
Mhm.
sucker for, with of
Mhm.
course like the classic kind of Carhartt tones that you would see on any of their pieces that you would wear. I don't own any Carhartt pieces except actually no, maybe I do. I did get a Carhartt New Balance workwear jacket, and that's like one of my favorite jackets. I don't know
I
if you
remember
remember
like
that
last year.
drop. I think I
Yeah.
talked about it, Ron,
Yeah.
before,
Yeah.
but this works perfectly
Mhm.
with that. So definitely
Mhm.
incorporating that into every time I decide to wear that jacket out.
I have to say though, that colorway, that's probably what everyone expected when they dropped the 990 V1, the navy,
Yeah.
the
They
navy
wanted that
colorway.
colorway.
Yeah, people were
Yeah.
like,
Mm-hmm.
"What the heck? Like, how's that Carhartt?" But then that shade with the green complementing
This,
it is exactly
yeah,
like Carhartt.
exactly what you think of when you think of Carhartt. Yeah, these
Yep.
different tones. It's workwear. What can I say?
Hmm.
Worked there. Yeah.
Gonna have to wear those when I go back to my hometown and see what everybody says. They might think I'm like the hypest, coolest person.
With the jacket, you got to wear it with the jacket.
Exactly. I gotta have the full head to toe look going on. All right, everyone. We are nearing our top three picks. Ron, what is going to go down as your number three pick?
All right, if I'm gonna, oh god, I know we have to like keep splitting these up here, but I'll go back to the collab lane here. I'm gonna say the 993 Kith Spring 101.
Okay.
This was a shoe. I mean, to me, if the Carhartt the V6 was limited, this was even more limited. This shoe I didn't even have a chance to get, and resale's pretty through the roof right now. I need to get a pair of this shoe. You have a pair, right, Sean?
I do, yeah.
The 93, yeah. Again, it kind of just came out of nowhere.
Hmm.
I think it was a raffle, maybe. I couldn't get it. Just 993, in my opinion, like arguably the most comfortable New Balance silhouette.
Top
Um,
five for me, Ron.
yeah, I mean,
100%. I actually just I loaned it out to somebody because they're like, give me a beater pair. And I
yeah,
actually missed my beaters because I never got
yeah,
them
I did
back.
the same thing. I had a pair of gray ones that like I also kind of like loaned out for whatever reason, and then I'm like, "Where's
Never
my
got them
beater?"
back. Well, I
Yeah,
got them on sale at the outlet mall. It was a buy one,
yep.
get one free sale.
Mhm.
And I've never seen that sale ever again.
Yeah, yeah. It's a shoe that if you go to a New Balance outlet, you're gonna see it.
Yeah.
It's just are you gonna get lucky in your size? But yeah, the 993 Spring 101. I never got a pair. Still on my list. Top three for me.
Good choice. What about
Yep.
you, Sean?
Number three, I'm gonna go with the Jound 991 that we. Who mentioned this on their list? Was
I
it
did. I showed it
Ron? You did, right?
earlier.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yes.
they're
yeah.
So
number
that's
You
yeah.
did.
that's number three. So like I said, it's Jound New Balance collabs. It's one of those things where you either love them or you just think they're lame. I think myself and Marissa, we probably think they're
I
amazing
love them.
because yeah, there's
I'm
just something
obsessed
about
with
the
them.
simplicity of and the consistency of what they do. Like I know people say, "Oh, it's just lame." They slap on the black end, but like you put all their collabs together, and you can just see like that uniform like
Yeah.
design language or style.
Yeah.
So there's just something to be said about the simplicity of it,
Yeah.
and like the
Yeah.
991 has been very popular this year. They've gotten a
Mhm.
lot of shine, and that like grayish beige color that they use on that, like we've seen that before on the 992 and the 990
Yeah.
V3. So I
Yeah.
mean, it
Yeah.
translated so well on the 991. I thought it was great.
It is pretty funny. It's termed olive, but I agree. It looks more beige, almost like the
Definitely.
992 mushroom colorway from a couple years
Yes.
ago. Like
Yep. Yep. Yep.
it has hues of that too. So I agree. I agree.
Yeah. No, solid pick. That's definitely on my list to come.
Mhm.
The next pair I actually don't have, but the 1906 Gani has kind of been. I feel like one of the sneakers people stop and stare, and it's specifically the yellow and black pair. I feel
Yep.
like when I saw that on the runway, aesthetically, it was just something
Mhm.
that excited me because I'm like, wow, this is definitely a yellow tone I probably wouldn't normally gravitate to. But when I put that on foot, like every single person asked me, where did you get that? How can I get it? Where can I find it? And Gani also isn't like the typical brand I feel like New Balance would actually do a collaboration with. So I feel like it was a nice branch out into kind of a different division and crowd that they weren't used to actually catering to. And yeah, I got both colorways. I've got compliments on both of them. I have the silhouette right here because I just have been wearing this 1906 in all different variations. I think this has definitely become one of my favorite silhouettes this year. They've just done such a good job with it, and it looks so different depending on the collab, which is also pretty crazy.
Mhm. If you're in love with that silhouette, Marissa, you're gonna be happy because a lot of the Q1, Q2 collabs that you're gonna see are gonna be coming in that silhouette.
Ooh,
Um, so you'll see
good for
Action
me,
Bronson.
bad for my
Yeah,
apartment.
good for you. Bad for your wallet and bad for your apartment.
Yes.
Salehi's got two coming out, my probably early 2024, and then Action Bronson has three coming out in
Oh
Oh
no.
boy.
yeah,
Oh
yeah. Get
no.
ready.
Why do I
And of
have to
course,
love this one?
there's gonna be one limited colorway of the three. So, yeah,
I hope it's
it'll
ugly.
strap in. Yeah,
I
I
know. One
hope
can
I
only
hate it.
hope, Sean.
Yeah, I hope I hate
Hope it's not in a cream
it.
colorway. They all come in cream.
Is the Salehi one is like the Spider-Man looking one, and
Yeah,
the
yeah,
yeah
that one, and then there's like a sunset colorway.
yeah.
It's kind of like
Ooh,
orange and the
sunset.
yellow. Yeah, yeah.
Ooh,
I'll
did you
send you a
say
pic sometime.
orange, Ron? I think that
Oh,
that is definitely going to be a
Say
you
no
must
already
cop.
know.
more.
Yeah, you already know. But see, I'm a Chicago Cubs fan, and they're blue and red, so kind of need
That's a
them both.
must.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
kind of
that's
need
a
them
good
both.
excuse to have to buy a pair of those.
Yeah,
100%.
yep.
Ugh, I love the 1906. That's
Mhm.
problematic for me. So I guess I'll see you guys in my
Yeah.
my top 10. It might be all from that silhouette.
Comfortable. Comfortable.
It really is. And it's a modern
Mhm.
looking sneaker. I get so many compliments when I wear them. I think a
Mhm.
lot of my friends are just like, wow, we've never seen a New Balance that looks like that. And
Yeah.
yeah, especially just even this meshing one. I can't really wear this in the winter because my feet, I've
Yeah.
decided, freeze. And I forget when I put
Mhm.
these on every time and it's like 20 degrees
Mhm.
out and I can not feel my toes anymore. I'm like, oh, I shouldn't
Yeah.
have wore these ones.
I have
Gonna
that
have to
pair too.
swap.
Is that the pine green? The pine green with the gum? Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, I have that too.
That gum
Um,
bottom just makes it for this.
it sets it off.
Hmm.
It sets it off for
Yes.
sure.
It's
Yeah,
cream, Sean. I feel like this is right down your
yeah.
alley as
Oh,
well.
I
I
feel
don't
good.
know.
Yeah,
Last year I would have kept it. This year I
yeah.
had to axe it.
No.
Yeah.
It's got to say no more. All right. Getting into our top two of 2023,
Mhm.
Ron. What's it going to be for you?
Top two. All right, number two for me, the 860 V2 Ame Leon d'Or. So
Hey,
Okay.
yeah,
people were saying, why is there no 860 V2s on the list?
yeah.
Well,
Oh
here you
yeah.
go.
No, this shoe I think in any other year might have been number one. If it wasn't
Really?
for like
Sheesh. Wow, that's a
Wow.
big statement.
yeah. But the thing is, like, I mean, let's be honest. Like, Marissa just showed the 1906. Like, mesh runners were a thing this year, right? And to me, like the 860 V2 was like the quintessential like NB runner or NB like mesh
Hmm.
runner. And when that ALD pack dropped, like for me, it was like, oh, I gotta get the green, gotta get my ALD. And then next thing I know, I'm like chasing the blue, chasing the red. Like to me, that shoe, like, it had an extended moment. Like, a lot of like collaborators, for example, we talked about Kith, coming out with something every quarter. ALD obviously drops something like every quarter too, but like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you guys, but I probably saw more 860 V2s, particularly the ALDs, like out and about more than like any other collab this year. Like I
Really,
saw
eh?
more people, yeah, people rocking that shoe, and I mean, and it wasn't just the sneakerheads, right? It was just like
Mm-hmm.
any normal person off the street, you could see, them wearing that shoe. I think it's so clean. I think it's so premium, the materials. Um, yeah, I love that shoe. So for me, any of the three colors, 860 V2.
860 V2.
Yeah,
Yeah, the mesh look is definitely something I've been seeing on people's feet. I feel like Nike even made a solid attempt with the Vomero 5 to kind of compete with New Balance this year. I don't know if
Yep.
you guys think that, but as soon as I saw that, I was just thinking to myself, this reminds me of New Balance a little
Yeah.
bit. Is Nike trying to jump in there and put up a little bit of a competition with this one?
I think they are. For me, it's more so the 860 V2, that again, it's basically a retooling of the original 860, and that was a shoe that did come out in years past. The Vomero also hails from like 10-15 years ago, but I feel like Nike kind of saw what was happening around with Asics and New Balance, and then just kind of that was their horse in the race, was to kind of uncover that one. I think there's a Pegasus coming out this coming year that's going to kind of be the new Vomero for them. I forgot which number it is, but it's like a retro Pegasus. But yeah, I mean, the Vomero, I actually used to work at a Nike Town about like 2010, 2012 era. And that Vomero running shoe was arguably like the most comfortable like Nike I ever owned and wore. And
the Vomero 5 is the only Nike I can say like I can walk 10 miles in and my feet won't feel tired, but it's been a long time since I've been able to actually say that. And the new tech that they added this year, definitely they needed that from the Vomero 4. It needed something.
Yeah. No, it's a solid shoe, but again, not to be biased, but I think New Balance kind of set the trend versus Nike having like a dog in the race.
They gave them the idea. They just
they did.
Nike was like,
Yeah, they have a big history of models that they can pull from. So
Someone is asking
I have
about
two
the
thoughts on
2000.
860 V2. First thought is
go ahead, Sean.
with so much like talk, like even from the chat room I'm reading, everyone's loving it. I need to show some more love to my 860 V2 because it's at the bottom of a pile.
Sean?
I am. It's at the bottom of a pile, and I've worn like the ALD 1906R that released this year as well, but I haven't had a chance to wear that 860 at all after I reviewed it. So gotta show more love to that. And second note is, did any of you guys pre-order the any of the three 860 V2s that ALD offered for pre-order? Like there's the
I did
looking one.
I
cream
didn't.
Yeah. You know why I didn't? Did you see how long it's going to take to get that shoe?
That's my problem.
I pre-ordered it, so I am counting down.
Oh man, they are really making you wait half a year.
Do you think though that they're gonna?
More than that. I want to say it was more than that.
Yeah, I feel like
was it 8 months then?
It was like 8 or 9 months.
Yeah, I thought it was 8 or 9 months. Yeah. I always cross my fingers hoping though that it'll get to me in 6 months, but it just never really happens. I almost
forget about
this.
Do you think they'll drop more pairs like later on next year, or do you think if that's it? Like,
you know what, my mentality was more like, okay, remember with the 550s they started doing these pre-orders like this.
Yep.
Yeah.
The last go around I was like, oh, I'll do that, and then I ended up like getting all three colorways. By the time they came, like, again, like I felt like I had enough 550s for 2 lifetimes, and I'm like, all right,
I'm right
I don't
there
even
with
really
you
want these anymore. So like, I feel like 1906, it could be like that, right?
Though, it's not. We
right.
haven't seen that many releases of 860 V2, right? So
yeah,
I don't know. The
FOMO I'm thinking about
just
honestly just kind of checking the store every so often, just hopping by. And,
you're right there.
Yeah,
you're right there.
Checking it out, asking around, seeing if anybody's seen any pairs laying around.
I see that comment. Sean wakes up and crosses off each day on his calendar like I did as a kid waiting for Christmas.
That's too funny.
Only 211 days left to go until I get my
So you
pre-orders.
get them.
I just honestly put it out of mind, out of sight, and all of a sudden it
Yeah,
pops
for
up,
real.
and I'm confused as to why I have all these packages coming in. And I remember, I'm like, oh yeah, I pre-ordered this.
I
Like, a
honestly
year
forgot
ago.
I even pre-ordered it until I got an
Yeah.
email like 2-3 weeks ago saying, "Hey, they're on target for delivery next year or something." I'm like, "All right, cool." Totally forgot about
Great.
them, but thanks for the reminder.
Like you, Ron, though, I was ordering every color in the 550s. It's I literally have an entire door filled with 550s. I'm maxed out.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no more. I can
Yeah.
do no more.
You know what? It's a great shoe. It had a great run.
Did.
I'm just kind of done with it. Like I
Yeah.
don't, I can't justify, adding
Yeah.
anymore.
Agreed.
I personally can only walk so long in the 550s out here. It can't be my
Mhm.
everyday, all day sneaker.
Yeah.
It's got to be a short trip to and from someplace, unless it's my Joe Fresh Goods canvas. Like the canvas material, I can walk in a little bit longer because it's more flexible, but I'm having the hardest time breaking in my 550s. I'm just going to start throwing them out of my apartment and seeing if the leather breaks in.
It breaks it. Yeah. No, I agree. I think it's a good like night out shoe, or like if you only know you're rocking it for a few hours shoe, but like an all day wear, no.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. Somebody's asking about the 2002R Protection Pack Phantoms. Are they strange or too strange?
Are they strange?
Strange.
No.
Like, are you saying, are they strange?
Yeah.
Do you find them strange, David?
I mean, I don't know. Are they? I don't think they're strange. Like,
they're like normal.
David, are you saying, is the colorway strange?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what he means by
That's
that.
the-
I mean,
the
I love
Phantom,
2002Rs. I don't know if they're strange.
Yeah.
I like them.
Yeah. Oh, and then NB Fiend was asking about the 2002R Jimi Hendrix pair. That's a sample. It was scrapped, and I don't think we're ever gonna see it. Just an FYI.
Really?
Yeah,
That's a
I
bummer.
actually have a friend who has a pair of the sample. I've seen it. It's gorgeous.
Wasn't it like a Nice Kicks collab or something like that, or?
I don't remember
Or am I
who
thinking of
was
something
going
else?
to, yeah, I'm actually not sure who was going to be the collaborator on it, but yeah, I did see the sample though.
Bummer.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Money saved, I guess.
Yeah, money saved.
I guess so. All right, Sean, what is your number 2?
I have the. So I think, Marissa, you took my words like wrong, but I have the Action Bronson 990 V6 baklava. So I think you thought I said
I thought you said you preferred it more.
I was saying people do. Other people do,
okay.
but
sorry,
I actually
Sean.
prefer.
Sorry,
No,
chat.
it's all good. It's all good. I prefer the baklava because I mentioned this in my video, but basically, if you're gonna go crazy and wild with the colors, then you might as well just go all out. And I think that's like the perfect example of a colorway that's just so random and weird, but because it's so random and weird, it works.
Yeah.
You know, it's obviously not a shoe that I'm gonna rock every day, but like there you go, Ron has it right there.
I was like, Ron, where are they? I know they're close to you. You're not going to keep those babies too far, are you?
No, also a pretty worn pair actually. Like you can't really tell, but like the blue on mine starting to get a little brown. But also a pair that like upon getting them, I just kept them on feet. No, I agree. I would Sean. I know he typically likes the more muted or cream, kind of chill colorways, but like
it's going outside your boundaries, Sean.
Had to,
that comfort zone.
Yeah, and I love that the lapis and this one had only one set of laces. I like that it had. I was
wondering that. Sometimes I get concerned that I'm missing laces sometimes when I don't get an additional pair. So I start freaking out for a second, like, wait, was there a second set of laces that were supposed to come with this or not? But yeah.
I did the same thing. I took the box. I was like,
you're shaking. I'm like, wait, really?
Am I missing them? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool lace system that they decided to go with. I feel like it just brings the entire sneaker all together. In Canada, Sean, what would you say stylistically you typically see people wearing out there? Do people kind of wear brighter colors? Because I do feel like New York, definitely people are wearing either super crazy colorways or they're just like all black.
I think generally it's more on the muted side, just
On
because
the muted side.
our weather's trash a good chunk of the year. So if it's not snowing, it's like
It's cold out
raining
there.
and it's
Whew.
cold. You're not really wearing like mesh sneakers and stuff like that too often. So I'd say more so on like the muted side. And honestly, there's not too many, like you don't see too many of these hype pairs on the street. So that's why I was surprised. Ron was saying he sees 860 V2s all the time. Like I don't think I've seen a single person rock an 860 V2 at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see,
I'm talking
you
about
see a lot of
year. Not December 26th, but like
More
the
of like
whole
a
year.
summer
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
warmer
Yeah.
weather.
you'll see a lot of like 550s and
Yeah.
574s and stuff like that, but like in 2002 Rs, but not too many of like the made in US, made in UK kind of stuff. Like that's kind of rare.
Yeah, for me too, because I live in Chicago. If I'm like in the city, I will see kind of everything. But like once you start venturing out of the city, that's when you just see the 550, 2002 R like that. You know, those silhouettes. But
I've been seeing, I'm trying to think, I feel like a lot of women have really jumped on the 327s out here. That's kind of like one of the most common sneakers I've been seeing all over the city. Almost like a delayed response to it. But yeah, I've been seeing a lot of 327s out here. And the CT302, oh my God, that sneaker is on every girl's foot. Every single girl. At least I feel like I see one girl a day wearing that New Balance. It is so popular and it gives you, you know, like what, 4 inches, 5 inches or something like that?
It gives you a little lift. Yeah, it gives you lift. I'm pretty short, so yeah, I've noticed a little lift.
A little height
every time
difference
I've
on those.
Yeah. The 327, it's been out for a few years now, and Charlotte Lee was the one who designed it. So a woman designed it, again, kind of with the intent of a like a functional, like casual sneaker. It's comfortable. Like it's such a comfortable shoe. If you go to like any New Balance store, whether it's a flagship one or like one out in the suburbs, they're gonna have 327s on the shelf. Like it's just a readily available shoe. They all look good. Yeah.
My Casablancas, I had to put those bad boys to rest for a little bit because I don't want them to fall apart. I get so many compliments on those. My Stod ones, I get huge compliments on too. But yeah, like a lot of girls are just rocking the GR colorways everywhere.
It's one of the shoes too that like I'll get compliments on from a non-sneakerhead. Like it'll be like what are those? Those look nice. And I think I wore my Levi's pair like recently, and people were like, "Dude, what are those?" And it was someone not into sneakers.
Levi's. So of course, you have a super hype pair on, Ron. And you're like, well I mean, trying to explain to them how to get a pair, and you're like, well,
PRs too. Stop. Stop. Okay, since we're talking about just kind of like not obscure, but kind of GR shoes too that kind of you see like men, women in. But for me, this was a shoe that I've seen nobody in this shoe, but for me, this made my top 10 GRs was the new Jaden shoe. It's got like this.
Does that have like a 550 element to it, kind of from afar?
A little bit like more tennis, actually. Like it has like kind of a tennis vibe to it, but you'll see that like you can see the midsole kind of carved out a little bit.
Oh, now I can see a little bit better. Yeah, I couldn't see the different side panels.
What's that for? Just for flexibility, or like why do they?
Good question. I think it's just Jaden being Jaden.
Okay, I was gonna ask you. So this is a Jaden.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? This reminds me of some of his first collabs because this has the same elements to it.
The DNA. Yeah, with like the carved out midsole. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now I see why they stuck with that. But that's way less chunkier than this variation.
It's a pretty minimalistic shoe. Again, it's kind of like almost like an 80s tennis / bowling shoe, But yeah, I mean, I saw them on NewBalance.com. They lasted like a day. I was actually able to get a pair in Kith like after they sold out on New Balance, but I have not seen another colorway. I've not seen anyone wear them.
I
But
haven't seen anyone wearing those. I actually don't even remember these releasing, to be honest with you. And
yeah,
it's very opposite of what I've seen in the past with Jaden's releases, because he typically does like those crazy, quirky color schemes. That's
hmm
pretty neutral, very jound, shall I say, of
yeah,
him.
yeah,
So my top, or my number two, both of you have already mentioned. Of course, it's
yeah.
going to be another Jound. Not too much, I guess, to say again on this. I think all three of us agree that it's just a solid colorway, and
hmm
always biased towards the Jound pieces. I just love every single drop that they do with New Balance. So, yeah.
hmm Yeah.
All right, everyone, we've made it to number one.
Yeah,
Finally, we've
we
done
already
it.
talked about it. We've already talked about it, but for me, the
I already
baklava.
knew. I was like, you
Yeah,
might as well just keep that in your
yeah,
lap, Ron, which is what you've been doing, keeping it
yeah.
warm,
Which
right?
is kind of what I did. And like Sean, I think you might have said this in your video too for your top 20. Uh, that it was again kind of a there was like no clear favorite right this
Yeah,
year. From Shango, he didn't have any clear favorite. For me, I did. Like once this dropped, it was
you
always the
knew.
baklava and then everything else. For
Nothing
me,
else matters.
Dang.
You only
this
have
shoe is
eyes for one sneaker this year, Ron.
yeah. This for me, this is it. I mean, it's loud, it's out there, it's comfortable as hell. I mean, it kind of checks every box and then some. I
Was it love at first sight for you?
easily, yeah. When I first saw it,
Really?
I hope that's not a sample. That looks dope. But yeah, for me, don't forget the 990 V6 too was just coming out, so this
Yeah.
also was like one of the
Mm-hmm.
first entries into this silhouette. So yeah, I mean, for me, I know when we look at years past too, like ones that like, okay, what would I still rock? I know that like this will be on there for like years to come. I love the shoe.
Solid choice. What about
Mhm.
you, Sean? What goes down as your number one
Yeah,
pick?
my number one, it's been mentioned as well. It's the Kith
Mhm.
993 Spring 101.
Okay.
Um, so this year was kind of interesting because, like I was saying, there's no clear number one that's like dominating the headlines. Some people have the baklava, some people have Jounds, some people have like, some Teddy Santa's GR because they don't want to be consumed with hype, right? But for
Mm-hmm.
me, it was like the Kith. That was like the clear winner for me. Just something about the colorway. It just looks
It's a
beautiful,
great
and
color.
the color scheme itself is so versatile.
Mhm.
993 is extremely comfortable, and the
Mhm.
strange thing is like the 993, it kind of came out of nowhere. It released quickly, sold out instantly, and then you didn't
So
really hear too
fast.
much. People, there wasn't like much chatter about it after the fact, right? Like you kind of
Mhm.
continued to see the baklavas and headlines throughout the year, and it would just be mentioned throughout the year. But this Kith 993, it came, it released, it sold out, and then it just kind of just disappeared. Maybe
Someone
because like
says
no one was able to get them. Maybe that's
they
why,
were.
which sucks.
I don't know a lot of people that got the 993s. To be
Yeah,
honest with
maybe
you,
that's why. It's just because it was so limited. But I thought it was beautiful, so that
yeah.
was
Yeah.
my number one for the year.
No love for the Brooks and Wood 9060. Actually, S, you know what? Olivia SWL on today, that was, I think, like one or two on her list of top sneakers this year for the
Mhm.
9060. So definitely got some love on the channel. Just unfortunately didn't quite make the cut on any of our lists this time around.
Mhm. No, I
Everybody
think
was like,
that
there weren't
that
any
shoe is gorgeous.
9060s. Did any
Yeah.
9060s make it on your list, Ron, in the 20?
Yeah, in the 20, I did have the Quartz Gray, which is a general release shoe. It looks kind of like grayish, whitish. I would say also a shoe again. I get so many compliments on, and every time I wear that shoe, and it's a GR. That Bricks and Wood shoe, it's gorgeous. I think
Yeah.
for collabs, I would say probably the best 9060 this year because I can't think of one other one that might jump out at me. I know June
Thought we
Sanders
were
from
gonna see a lot more this year of the 9060, but not too many crazy releases for that.
yeah, for collaborations, no, you're still going to see it inline colorways like the
Hmm.
a lot of the packs that you're going to see coming out again, like usually around themes, Valentine's Day, etc. Like stuff like that will usually be inclusive of a 550 or a 9060 still. So you'll still see that model quite a bit. The 9060 did really well too, from like a sales perspective. Like a lot of those, general release colorways did
Did
good
well.
numbers. So
I mean, my
yeah,
Joe Fresh Goods pair, I always get compliments on those. So
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
something that's a heavy hitter, but also just a comfortable
Mhm.
shoe all around.
Extremely
Oh
comfortable.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And it's a shoe that like I think some people when they see it, they're like, "Oh my god, that's bulky." Like that shoe, it's gonna be heavy. But it's like it's super comfortable. And no, shout out Brooks and Wood though. They seem to put out some solid collaborations
Oh yeah,
each year.
every bricks and wood collab that I've done on the channel has always just been really super high
Mhm.
quality, really well thought through. But
Mhm.
yeah, not that we don't love the 9060, everyone. We love it.
Yeah, no, I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
So my, I guess, number one pick is a little bit
Mhm.
more on the minimalist side.
Mhm.
This is my number
Ooh.
one, the W Taps.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm
Mhm.
in love with the 990 V6. I think it's just
Mhm.
one of the most comfortable, newest
Mhm.
additions to the New Balance family. But
Mhm.
of course, I'm a sucker for a good, solid gray New Balance,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
this was just something I had to have.
Mhm. Nice. I
And
have a pair too. It was funny when that first leaked, so the pictures first leaked, and people were like, "Wait, that's it? It's
love that.
just it's just a gray, and 990 V6." Because like the original gray colorway came out like a month before that did, and a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people were like, "Well, that looks just like it." And but I mean, it's like you said, it's clean. You
Mm-hmm.
can't fade a gray 990 in any silhouette, right? I mean, you can't go wrong. And I think this takes a little bit of the Jound hues, right? Where like you don't mess up what works, right? And I think that
Mm-hmm.
this shoe does exactly that. And to me, that's a shoe you can wear year round. Again, we already talked ad nauseum about how comfortable the V6 is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it's a really good pick. And I don't wear mine enough. You just reminded me. I need to get it out of the
Put
box.
those by the door, Ron. As soon as we're
Yeah,
done with this live, add it to the
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
list.
I had
yeah.
that as number 18 on my top 20 list. It's a clean colorway. And when you compare it to their past collaborations, I mean the 992 was unique and then the
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
990 V2 was, I mean, it
more
wasn't
muted than
as,
that.
yeah,
More
it was,
muted than
yeah, more
this,
muted than this
yeah.
one,
Yeah,
to be honest.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
it's honestly, I think it's the USA branding that's just,
yeah.
a
The
lot of people
jumpsuit.
hate that, but I
Mm-hmm.
think the color blocking itself, I thought it was really nice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that shoe's kind of forgotten a little bit this year.
It
You know what
is,
I mean?
yeah.
I think we talk a lot about Jown Kith, a lot of Joe Freshgoods, some of the regular players, but like double taps. I mean, you typically usually that's like top three automatically, right?
The
And
double tops, yeah. And they're always
yeah,
so hard to get. I mean,
yeah,
anyone
that's
should
another thing
be
too.
lucky if they have at least one of their collabs in their collection.
Hmm.
This one definitely, I think, went under the radar, but for me, I always go for my gray New Balances. It's
Hmm.
always been like my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Definitely put these to the test this year. I need them to last as long as I possibly can have them last.
No, it made in USA. That should last for a little bit. I see in the comments, Karen K asked, "Is the 990 V6 or the 991 V2 more narrow?" The 991 is definitely more narrow.
Mm-hmm. That's
I
your
think the
pinky toe one,
V6.
right? You were saying, Ron, that
Yep.
kind of catches your
Yep.
pinky toe.
Yeah, the V1 was always kind of nipping at my pinkies, and the V2, it's a little more forgiving. I think what makes it more forgiving is the upper is just so much softer. So the break in, I feel like is really quick. I always found that like for the you're welcome, Karen. With the V2. I think within 2 wears I was ready to roll. Whereas like the V1s that I owned, I had to sometimes jam like extra paper in there overnight. Or one collab I didn't mention this year that was a big hit for me too was the Palace Skateboards 991s. And
Oh, that's right.
both
Palace
those
always
colorways.
does these like crazy random, collabs here and there. Like I even like
Yeah.
I have my Solomons that they did this year too, which
Yeah.
I was obsessed with. But
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, but yeah, Palace they did a bang up job. I mean, it was the like a Charlotte Hornets colorway and like a Phoenix Suns one. But yeah, but both of those I had to kind of manually do a little bit of stretching to get those to fit. But yeah, go with the 990 V6 if you're needing a wider fit.
I think somebody was asking about Bape and New Balance,
Mm-hmm.
and if we think they should keep doing collaborations with them.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I don't know if we're going to see another one again. I know that we had the 57 or 5740 that came
Mm-hmm.
out in like 2 to 3 colorways a couple of years ago. That was probably the last one they did. Um, and then there was a 2002 R from like 3 years ago.
I love that
Uh,
one. Both of those were amazing. The 2002
oh yeah,
Rs.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I will say this too. I have the gray one, and like it's one of those shoes that like for whatever reason, anytime I throw it on, it either starts raining or I just happen to have like something happen where like they're gonna get wet or stained, and it's like for whatever reason the easiest shoe to clean off. I don't know why, but
Wow.
they still look really good after like a dozen wears. So
Good to know. So that's your rainy day shoe, as we were
yeah, I
talking
mean,
about before, right?
unintentionally my rainy day shoe.
So now, if any of you have any questions for Ron or Sean while they're still on here, feel free to ask away. Definitely love kind of seeing if we can get any tidbits out of Ron, though, for 2024. Anything maybe we could look forward to.
Well, let's see. We talked about the Soleils, the 1906R. So I think you're going to see those early in 2024. Action Bronson's going to keep the momentum going. You're going to see three 1906s from him in
Wow.
April. Yeah, three in
And
April.
you're saying of the three, one is really extremely limited, or
Yes, and I
One of
don't
them will
know
be.
which one. There's one of them that's going to be like limited. I think it's a yellow one. I think I'd have to check my notes again, but yeah, there's one that's going to be really limited. Don't know release process or whatever. Yeah. I don't know if it's going to be like the Joe Fresh Goods, Keisha Blue ones.
Oh,
Um,
interesting. If it's just going to be by
yeah,
location, that would be a
yeah,
bummer.
yeah.
Hopefully, it's in one of our locations. I guess everyone.
I know. I mean, between like what New York, Chicago, and
In
Toronto,
Canada, yeah, I'm like we got to have one of us at least land that location, right?
yeah, yeah. Now you're gonna see some of the usual suspects put out stuff soon too. Don't be surprised to see something from Bodega.
Okay.
I think there might be, and I don't know if it got scrapped. There might be another Soleil too. But just
what happened
don't
to
quote
the
me.
Action
Don't quote me.
Bronson V6, the gray and yellow one that he was wearing?
Don't know. I don't know if it's just gonna be a sample. I was
Mm,
hoping that one was gonna drop, but
Hmm.
yeah, I remember mid-year the hot rumor was that was like a Q4 drop, and it never did. But yeah, I hope we see that one come to light. You
okay.
know,
Shout out to Coco Goff and her CG1s. I'm sure we're going to be seeing lots from Coco in the upcoming year as well.
yeah, they're gonna do a lot of activations with her. Obviously, her was it U.S. Open that she won. I mean, she was already an elite athlete, and then that really catapulted her. I think she's gonna be in more and more of their ads and promo
Hmm.
pieces.
I interviewed her actually for the 327 when she did her
Yeah,
first
that's right.
collaboration with New Balance, the whole capsule collection.
Yeah,
So it's cool to see
yeah,
how far she's come since then. But
hmm
definitely,
yeah,
I still get compliments on this shoe.
yeah. 327.
Signed with my Coco Golf tennis ball.
Oh, there you go. Did she sign your shoe too, or no?
I wasn't even thinking at the time, but
Or just
I should have
the
had her sign the sneaker
tennis
as well.
shoe? Yeah.
She just signed a pink tennis ball for me, but now I guess I just have to keep the tennis ball attached somehow to the sneaker.
Yeah, well, if you're gonna wear the shoe, it would be a little weird to rock an autographed shoe, but
Exactly. I'd have to like
yeah.
frame it somewhere. But
Mhm,
yeah, just I guess
mhm,
honored to still have
mhm,
that. And I got to find where that
mhm,
tennis ball went. It's floating around this apartment somewhere in one of my sneaker boxes. Hopefully the 327 box.
mhm.
Someone's asking about J. Crew collabs. Ron, any J. Crew collabs coming up?
God, I wish. I mean, they put out some of the most, I would say, iconic stories with their collabs in the past. It's been years since we've seen one. I think 2000 or 2020 might have been the last one.
Is J.
Maybe
Crew still like
2020.
healthy down in the States? Because I'm pretty sure they closed up all their shops in Canada.
I remember during
I
COVID
wonder if they
they did
closed the
close.
store in Dumbo because when I lived in Dumbo, there was a J. Crew and they always had like a nice
Mhm,
New Balance set up in the front of the store. But I
mhm,
actually think they closed that store.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's somebody said go Bills in the chat. Shout out to you. Uh, Buffalo Bills fan right here. And actually, Sean, you should be too, being from Toronto, right? You kind of
I
root for the
guess yeah,
Bills?
the Bills are technically
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
NFL
Your
team.
team, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Close by
Yeah.
vicinity.
Yeah. Um,
992, Ron. They're asking if it's ever coming back.
Not anytime soon. Not anytime soon. It's going to, but not now. Not anytime soon. Um,
Baklava.
oh,
Somebody's
there's,
asking
there's
for some styling advice. You two have to give some styling advice on how to wear the baklavas.
I'm going to lean on Sean.
So you're gonna wear a neon T-shirt. You're gonna wear a bright blue pants and a hat that has like no. Seriously, just I just go with
Yeah.
let the shoes be the star of the show. I'm not
Mhm.
like a fashion expert like Marissa, so I mean, I would just wear like a
Yeah.
gray T-shirt with like I don't know,
Let
Mhm.
the
like
sneaker be the standout piece,
yeah, like
basically,
black
right?
Yeah.
pants and just like
Yeah. Yeah. I
yeah,
would almost go muted outfit and then let the shoes do the talking.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Somebody's asking if there's going to be any Warp Runner collabs in 2024.
If there is, I have not seen it. But
No.
wouldn't
That'd be a
surprise
good
me.
one, actually.
I
I
kind of
would
hope
like to see
to.
some collabs on that silhouette. I mean,
Yeah.
of course, love the OG colorway, but it's a fun one.
Mhm.
I feel like you could really do a lot
Mhm.
with.
There's like a brown and black colorway coming out this week. It looks really, really sharp. If
Ooh.
you go to newbalance.com, check it out. It's on the launch calendar.
Yeah, definitely going to have to take a
Maybe
look at
take a look.
that.
Yeah,
Sean,
Yeah.
somebody's asking when your New Balance collab's coming out.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure Ron's probably gonna get his first, so I mean,
We'll be awaiting both of your collabs
yeah.
here soon in the future. Ron
just
and
get
Sean,
just
though,
get
that
ready.
rhymes. I'm sure you could just combine the two of your
Yeah,
names
we could
and
do
come
it.
out with a
We
nice
already said
collab.
Sean Subs. Sean Subs.
I
Yeah,
know, we're
we
coming
could
out with names with your names incorporated into the mix.
we'll figure one out.
Yeah, we will.
But make sure if you get one, Sean, can you see me and Marissa?
Don't worry,
See,
guys.
that's
Don't worry.
We
I
would
got you. I
appreciate
got
to
you.
be on the seating list.
yeah.
Yes, Sean. Hopefully you both got my socks as well, because
Yeah.
I
they're
did.
perfect for New
Yeah.
Balances.
Congrats,
Yes,
by the
thank
way.
you.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
I
That was
saw it
huge.
sold out as well, so that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
they
stuff.
sold
Yeah.
out quite fast. It was a very
Mhm.
simple collection, but I had
Mhm.
the sock in mind specifically for New Balance silhouettes because every time
Mhm.
I sell my New Balances, I always have like a thicker, slouchy sock, and everybody always asks me where
Mhm.
I get them. So that's
Mhm.
where I got this idea. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to create the perfect slouch sock, and it'll be perfect for everyone's New Balance pairs that they want to rock it with.
Yeah. No, thank you. That was, I mean, amazing that you were able to sell out like all the colorways like that too.
Yep, and then we had the special silver edition that sold out first. But yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully we'll have another collaboration with some new colorways, hopefully to match the New Balances coming out next year. We'll see.
Yeah.
Pretty excited
All
about
the
that.
1906s you're buying.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately so. I'm
Yeah.
gonna need a new
Yeah.
door installed somewhere in my
Yeah.
apartment now because I have no more space. But
Mhm.
I need a
Mhm.
1906 carve out somewhere in
Mhm.
my apartment. I'll have to figure out where that's gonna be. Someone's asking about Todd Snyder collabs coming. Any Todd Snyder?
I haven't seen anything on any of the calendars. I haven't seen it. There very well could be because I think the initial drop typically comes from them, and then like .com will get some pairs allocated, but um, I haven't seen any.
I always get my whole Todd Snyder packages or packets in the mail. So I
Mhm.
love the Todd Snyder aesthetic. He's got some really cool stores here in New York, but I definitely think that when they do drop anything with New Balance, it always is like a great color combination.
Yeah.
Just like J. Crew, kind of similar. I feel like
Mhm.
aesthetic when they do the clubs with them.
Yeah. Well, they had the last drop was they had a couple 992s. They had the gray with the kind of brown hits, and then there was the camo pair.
Hmm.
Um, and then they had a 327 pack. It was three of them. It was called like the Farmers Market pack.
Oh, I remember that.
Um,
Yeah, I really actually liked the photo shoot that they did
yeah, they did.
for that
I thought
release.
the editorial for that was awesome.
Yeah, it
For
was
that
really
role.
cool. Made me actually
But
want to go shop in my 327s for a
yeah,
second.
oh yeah,
Go to a
go to the
farmer's
farmers
market.
market.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember a couple of those actually hit outlets too, like the red pair hit outlets. I think I got mine just from online, but yeah, I mean, I have not seen anything in the books for them. I'm hoping we see something soon though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody's asking about the 580. Are they trying to force it into popularity,
Mhm. I mean, I don't think
or is it
so.
just a hot shoe?
It's a hot shoe. I love the
Yeah.
580. And shout out to Eric. He was the one who was asking that. Go pre 5K. Uh, yeah, I love the 580. I
That
think
made your top 10 last year, didn't it, Ron? The 580, I feel like.
yeah, I can't try to remember which one it did. Was it Stray Rats?
I want to say
I
it was
think
the
it was
Stray
Stray
Rats that
Rats.
you chose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it was Stray Rats. But like over like Black Friday, I mean, I was able to get like pairs for like $50 and $60
Oh,
of like five.
wow. That's a
Yeah,
great
so
looking
like,
color you have there, too.
yeah, this is kind of like a really light gray one. This is the size collaboration. This actually hit sale, and I was able to get these for like 100 shipped,
Wow.
which they fortunately had my size up. There was only like a handful of sizes left, but yeah, the 580 it's a tank. Like they're comfortable. They're a little heavier, but I like the shoe. I think Sean mentioned the 998 being, a favorite amongst like New Balance purists. The 580 is kind of right there with it, for the lifestyle models. So seeing it back in rotation is nice. And again, the GR colorways that have dropped have been pretty nice too.
That's an
Um,
interesting color combination, the purple tones in there.
Oh yeah, for that one
Yeah.
too. That was like one of two, but like yeah, this is an olive colorway, olive incense. This actually was in the same pack as that V4 that's topping a lot of people's lists for the year. But yeah, I mean, check your boutiques and the clearance sections too, because like you'll find some of these for steals right now.
Ron, do you have the West NYC 580 from like 10 to
I
15 years
don't.
ago?
I don't.
10 or 15 years ago, Sean's like, go in the archive right now, Ron. Come on.
Show it.
Yeah,
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 that's the one that kind of got away from me
got
back in
away.
the day.
Yeah. So there was two colorways.
The
It was
gray,
Yeah,
predominantly
with the
gray with the purple and
aqua.
teal.
Yeah, yep. It was a gray aqua and teal. And actually, if you're familiar with Dan Gamache, shout out Mosh. He actually for his Mosh runner created uh, a West NYC collab, which he
Oh,
did
nice.
collab with them for it. Yeah.
Sick.
And actually, that pair is on the other side of the room, and I wish I could run and grab it because it's gorgeous. It's like to a T match of that collaboration. So,
Dope.
but yeah, shout out Mosh.
15-year-old pair. I was hoping you just
I
had it
know.
right behind you,
I know.
Ron. You
Like this
disappointed
time
me
of
Yeah,
and
year.
this
Sean
year.
here, keeping you
Oh,
on your toes.
here's like an OG pair. This is the Burn Rubber Detroit pair of the 580. So this is from
Okay.
I would probably say about 10 to 12 years ago. Um, but yeah, the 580s they're great. So I would watch for them this year to make some collab lists and also just some dope GRs.
Somebody's asking, it looks like Bobby wants to know what we all think of the Joe Fresh Goods 990 V4.
If you would ship my pair, I could tell you guys, but I'm still waiting.
Is anybody out there that can hear Sean? He's awaiting. Logistics team, if you're out there watching this, ship his pair to him.
Yeah,
I guess.
I don't think I'll take the laces out of these. I think I'm going to keep the.
Please
that's
leave
the right
those
choice.
laces, please.
Yeah,
It looks so good, Ron.
Yeah.
So good.
And then this is a shoe too that I think we already said this is like if it came out in October or even September, this would be fighting for like a top 1, top 2 spot. You know.
And I think we all agreed with this tone. It's just you can't really beat this color
that's
combination.
That's the best one, I think.
Yeah. I wore the outro pair to a Christmas party the other night, so it's by my front door. But somebody asked me, "Are those tuxedo shoes? New Balance tuxedo?"
Oh,
shoes?
yes,
And I'm
actually.
like, yeah, they are.
Is there like some shiny like patent leather on it somewhere, or
There is, yeah. And actually, you can even
it's
see if you
been
want to.
So worn here. Like, how much should I wear
You
these?
probably
I
can't
like these
tell.
down.
But there's
These are my
that white-
favorites too, my moonbeams. I can't stop wearing these, but very similar kind of color combination.
Oh, yeah, they are similar.
Yeah. There's patent hits on it, Sean.
Okay, cool. Good to know.
Yeah, it's very subtle. I couldn't tell in images, and then I got them in hand, and I was just like, wow, there is actual patent leather on these.
Yeah. NB Fiend is correct, though. The hairy suede for the win. That's the best part about the white pair. Is that hairy suede
for the win.
Yeah.
Have to agree with you on that. Yeah, love some good extra hairy suede. Let the New Balance team, we like extra hairy suede, Ron, okay?
Yeah.
That's all we want next year. Extra hairy suede on all of our New Balances. Will be much appreciated. Well, everyone, I had such a great time, you two. Happy 3-year anniversary. We've been doing this for 3 years now. It's kind of become a little holiday tradition for the three of us to come together.
Yeah.
And
we snuck in the mid-year, though. Remember, we did this year. We stuck in a mid-year, didn't we?
Did we?
Oh, yeah,
This year?
we did.
Yeah, we
Maybe
did.
we'll
We
have to
snuck
try
in.
that next year, too. It sounds
For
like
New
we got a lot
Balances
of
or what?
heat.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
we
talking-
did
I
NBs.
don't remember.
Yeah, we did NBs.
Yeah, we did. I can't. That's crazy. I forgot we did do a mid-year video.
Yeah, that's probably why it feels like we just did it.
Yeah.
We just
Actually,
did it.
you're right, Ron.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess we are doing this every 6 months. So hopefully we'll see you guys again on the channel in 6 months. Happy holidays to everyone. I know that we only have a few more days left in 2023. It's crazy. This is probably like one of the fastest years. I feel like after COVID, things are just like flying by so quickly. And
totally.
can't wait to see what's on the list for New Balance next year. Ron, thank you for giving us your little tidbits, and looking forward to just adding to my 1906 collection. I'm going to cry myself to sleep next year from all of the money I'm about to lose, unfortunately. But I'm ready. I'm ready, Ron. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, but your feet will be comfy, though.
Exactly. Be sure to follow both Sean and Ron. Their names are listed underneath them, but you guys can also give yourselves a shout out, let people know where they can follow you, what platforms.
New Balances only on Instagram, NBsOnly.
And you can find me on Instagram at SGO8 and on youtube.com/SeanGo.
All right, everyone. Hopefully you all have an amazing rest of your, I guess, I feel like we've all probably eaten as much as we possibly can eat these past 2 days.
I plead the fifth.
Right. I've been eating turkey, ham, and stuffing for the past couple days. I'm so exhausted from eating so much. I need to take a breather this week. But if you're not already subscribed to my channel, be sure to do that now down below. And give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy these lives. And we'll catch you guys, I guess, in the next 6 months. Ron, thank you for reminding me. I had no clue that we actually did a live not too long ago. I'm so sorry, everybody. My brain is failing me. My memory is
I
going.
totally forgot, so I don't blame you.
Okay, all right.
I still
was
don't
like, Sean,
remember,
do you
to be
remember?
honest.
I'm going to have to go back in my lives now in the archives and check this video out.
Plot twist, it was just Ron by himself.
I know.
Yeah,
Ron
that's all you
actually
don't
took
remember.
over the channel.
Yeah.
He was actually
Yeah.
on your channel too, Sean. You just don't remember.
Yeah, you just don't know. You just got to go to archives, pull me up.
Exactly. Ron taking over. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Ron and Sean, for
Yeah.
jumping on board and hanging out with
Yeah.
the Shade crew tonight. And again, everybody
Yeah.
have an amazing evening. I have
Mhm.
another video coming up after this, the last of the Powerpuff Dunk series. So stay tuned for that. And we'll catch you all in the next one. Bye, everyone.
Happy
Peace
New
out.
Year, everyone.
Yeah.